Hello, everyone. Welcome to the seminar Office Hours, episode 8.69. Hello, my name is LA. I'm also known as the Hunger Service. I'm joined by my co-host, the headmaster himself. ZJA, please introduce yourself.
Yo, what's up? Good morning. My name is ZJA to the max. I do the arts. I am this kind of headmaster-ish sort of. I'm here sometimes on the weekdays.
Yes. Anyway,
Yes.
we're going to introduce our next guest of the seminar. He's a man with the voice and the tickler of the guitar strings. Do you want some rocks? Because he's got them and they're hard. 100% guaranteed to make you moist. You can't spell handsome without Hans, I think. Is that Hans?
Yeah, it's me, man. I swear.
There we go. What's up, man?
You swear?
Dude,
You
I know.
swear.
Yeah? Yeah,
Dude,
you
I
good?
swear it's me. Please believe me. Please.
That's crazy, bro.
That's crazy, bro.
I want to know.
know,
I
I
want to
know,
know
right?
what time machine you jumped into because
I know. I always when I always get a haircut, I lose like 10 years. I swear.
All right, well,
But like, here's what it is.
all right, start with the intro. Who are you? What do you do? And let's go with that.
Well, my name is Hans. I'm one half of Hans and Denise, which is the streaming name that me and my partner Denise use. I'm a musician, streamer, a gamer. I like to work with audio, so I'm really nerdy with audio gear. I do audio for a living, and yeah, I sometimes people think I'm funny. Sometimes I feel like I'm not really trying, so it gets annoying. But sometimes it's really cool. Like it makes great connections with people. So,
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, you shave your head often, or like how often you be shaving your head?
I was like cleaning up, like manscaping, and I just dropped the razor, man. It just went I kept trying to pick it up, but I'm kind of klutzy, so it just kept like, my
Dude, so
hair.
I'm imagining you're like trying to like shave your face, and then you're like, "Oh no, the razor!"
No, man. He was manscaping, so he's like
Oh.
he's hanging from his shower curtain, so it
Upside
falls with gravity.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Just,
Yeah, upside down.
Yeah, upside
right.
down.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that's how I I that's my gym workout. Sometimes if I don't go, I just go hang upside down and manscape myself.
That's a
On God.
weird Spider-Man alternative universe storyline.
Oh yeah, my favorite. My
Oh.
favorite.
All right. I'm glad we got the explanation. But on a more serious note, let's get down to like how you got started with music, and how you and Denise ended up like starting to play together, and how that all happened.
Okay. So I come from like my biological family comes from a background of like music and being cops, but
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that until like much later in life. So I just gravitated towards music just cause. And then my adoptive dad was really supportive and really helped me foster it. And honestly, he was more into it than I was because I was a kid. I wanted to excuse me, play games and stuff. So I'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch TV," and he's like, "No, man, you should go to the local like guitar store and just play your guitar really loud, and then maybe people will like you." And I was like, "I hate that," but I did, and for a while I was just a guitar player, and I think my dad was really really good at pushing me in the right direction for my beginning years to play guitar. And then at some point he was like, "Hey, why are you only strumming the guitar? Do you know how to play like any solos?" I'm like, "I don't know what that is." So he's like, "Okay, you're done with this guitar teacher. He's only teaching you rhythm guitar." I moved over to like a strictly like a lead guitar guy, and he was like, "Okay, I think you're done here too. You've learned all you can learn. I think you should get into a band." And so I did a battle of the bands, and I was going to be the guitarist. And lo and behold, the lead singer was like, I only rap, and we're not rapping, so it's not gonna work out. And my dad was like, he like opens the door, like eavesdropping. He's like, oh, that kid can sing, and then just closes the door. And I was like, oh
Dang.
my gosh. And then everyone was like, can you just sing, like try to hold a tune? And they did. I did. And they're like, oh, good enough. Heck yeah. I think it's still on YouTube somewhere. I played at this place called Callahan's. It's like an Irish pub, and I played Slow Ride. That was the only song our band could learn. There was like 6 of us, which is way too many for a band. But
Wait a
we had
minute.
4 guitarists, and like we had like a really long guitar solo in the beginning and at the end. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I just sing slow, take it easy as best as you could as a child, and then we changed a lot of the words because it's about lovemaking. So I had to like go to school. The rhythm is right. I was saying like very PG stuff. It was cool. It was cool. And that's how I got into music, and eventually that band turned into other bands. And my dad really helped me, like, or honestly, just got me into music for the social aspect, for the creative aspect. He had friends that knew how to record, and those friends helped me to be inspired to want to do recording and audio stuff. And eventually, I got a girlfriend. And I didn't want to. I don't know. I felt like me and Denise had a good like musical connection outside of just dating. It was just she liked similar music to me. She liked slower or sadder music. She was into country music too, so we could relate on a lot of stuff. And she would hum to a lot of the songs that we would sing on the radio or in the car, and at the same time in person. And she, at some point, I gave her a song where I said, I don't know how to sing the harmony of this. Can you do it? And she's like, sure. And that kind of spiraled into, hey, this is really good. You want to perform it live with me? And then that became, hey, do you want to just perform live always? And then that became, hey, there's this platform that has like people that play games on it. You want to try playing music? And that's how it got to me and Denise being into music together, honestly.
That's awesome. You stole the next question out of my my notes. That's cool.
Oh, I slowed it down in case you wanted me to get into it.
No, I mean, I want to rewind a little bit because you said you found out later that your biological family like was into music. Like, how did that like conversation come out?
Oh, dude, I had a great day at baseball. I was hitting like home runs and stuff. I was like, dude, I'm really good at this. And I came home, and then like my mom was like really quiet, I was just yapping. I was like, bro, I hit like 2 home runs back to back. I'm a beast. And my mom just like, yeah, baby. That sounds great, Bubba. That's what she called me. And then we got home, and I was like on the toilet, still telling her, dude, I hit 2 in a row. And then she was like, you're adopted.
Whoa!
No!
What? Wait, no.
I was like, I need to get this off like our chest. You're adopted.
Hold on.
And I was like, hold on. You adopted me? Wait, who adopted you?
What?
And it was a trip. If not to be too crazy about it, but like to go down that huge rabbit hole. My mom dated somebody in college, and things didn't really work out because he got, you get around sometimes when you're having troubles with your relationship. Sometimes you seek comfort in others, and it's hard to control yourself. And that like was the last straw for my mom. She was like, okay, like you have a kid with her technically, so this isn't going to work out anymore. But my biological dad is really smooth with words, like really smooth. I've met him like twice, and I was like, dang, I can't get a word in, dude. This guy is good at speaking. I was like, I thought I was good at speaking. This guy's so good at speaking, and he's not even speaking in Tagalog. He's speaking in broken English to me.
Shit.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so eventually my mom met my adoptive dad, who they were pen pals and moved to the States, and we had a great time. I grew up. We had that conversation after me hitting a bunch of home runs of like, hey, by the way, you're adopted. And then a month later, my mom whisks her way back to him. So that was a terrible experience. So you go from my mom with my biological dad with this new adoptive dad who's great, and then back to back. Yeah, it was rough.
Wow.
But that's how the conversation came up of like, oh, by the way, like my grandmother on his side was more into music, and my grandfather on his side is more into being like a cop, military stuff. So we're a mix of like martial arts, military, and music.
Wow.
I didn't know that, and I was in martial arts too, so I didn't know any of that.
I mean, that's why I really wanted to backpedal to it, because I was like, like I feel like tapping into that ancestry is so magical for creative people,
Yeah.
and so like I was like, holy shit, like so like was your biological dad, and then like even his dad, and before that was like music and all of that too, or
It was a part of their like from. I actually went back to the Philippines in October, and I talked to him, and it was a really great experience. And he
Nice.
said, he showed me his work, and he was talking about in college, like he had a band, and he had and I can relate a lot to this. He said that he had a friend that was like, hey, we should have a band. You're really good at writing. And he was like, all right, can you play this instrument? He kept going down the line of like guitar, drums, and all this stuff. And he's like, you know what? You have a lot of passion, but you're really bad at playing that. And it kept with every instrument until it was like, you know what? You're really good at writing. And it was like heartfelt. You're good at writing heartfelt stuff. And so he talked about writing a song, and then his partner like fixing it up and making it more contemporary. So he would add rap or things like that. And so it's funny because that's kind of the relationship in music I have with Denise, where it's like, I write like a psychopath, and then Denise will be like, okay, we don't need that. We shouldn't have that in there. All right. And then Denise will make it so it's digestible, and then add things to make it sound dynamic. Because if you just let me do it, every song will be an acoustic song.
Okay.
My gosh, that photo of me looks so wrong.
No. I know you gave an explanation, but I do actually want to know like what
What's
inspired you to switch to this, like, because as you can see in the other photo, this was only in October. This is the difference between you went to the Philippines and then came back like.
I debated it. I
Yeah.
debated cutting it over there.
Yeah.
I just honestly, it's a mix of things. I don't like to maintain it. Like Denise is like, oh, like comb it, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go to work. Like, be presentable to people.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to just kind of wear this.
Yeah.
And like, I like to use clay, and like, even if you take a shower and like do a general wash, sometimes the clay still sticks. So it just goes right back up if you put your hair through. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't take a lot of time to like get ready to look good. Half the time I don't look good. I like the cleaner look. I've been like really not eating, and that's like made my chin me more like confident in my chin. So heck yeah.
Do you look good? You look good. I like when you showed up,
know,
I was like, holy crap, you look good. What the hell?
I know I'm a Rizzler. I got it in me, man. I'm a dog. I know, dude. Every time, I swear. Anyways,
No, I appreciate you talking a little bit about your past and that ancestry, because that's so sick. I really wanted to know.
oh yeah, of course. I'm trying to keep it as nice as possible too, because that could be mean.
Hey man, healing is healing. You know what I'm saying?
Healed. I can be petty if I want to, but I'm not.
Okay.
I've grown up. A lot of it, honestly, is just like it doesn't matter. Like for a lot of people, like things like that in your life, honestly, you just grow from it, and it honestly just becomes a really cool story to tell people.
Yeah.
No more, no less. And whatever you learn from it's what you learn from it.
Man.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Oh yeah, it's 2025 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. What? So it's the first month of the year. We're almost to the end. It's what, the 21st. I want to know, what's your hot take for the first month of this year? What is the hot take? What is your hot take?
And the TikTok thing was weird. That TikTok thing was weird. In terms of for myself, I'm really stressed all the time. I work like a kind of there is work, there isn't work kind of job where I have to take it when I can. But sometimes like personal life or work-life balance gets in the way, and then you don't have any work because you had to balance your life. So that gets kind of stressful. I don't know, 2025, everyone seems to be doing like things, or like, oh, dude, I really want to see you. Like, can you love my friends and family to death, but like they all want to do things. Like people are getting married, people are wanting to hang out, people are moving out to Vegas that I'd advised to, but never thought they would just jump and do it. and I love
exciting.
you, Leaf. But I didn't know you were in town until you said you were coming to town like 2 weeks before. I was like, oh gosh. I think ZJ, we and I were talking about it. I was like, wait, I think I did have work that day, and I was just getting home like, it's time to go. So
yeah.
It's stressful, but I need to give the job a chance, and I need to give I need to kind of settle down. I get really stressed about things that are like months away or like a month or two away.
Yeah.
Even though like I should live in the moment.
No, it's rough.
I don't know. How about you guys?
I mean, this is not about us right now. It's about you. So.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy.
It is what it is.
We could talk about that on the next regular
Just talk
seminar
about
podcast.
Gotcha. I'm starting to get the flow.
Go on, ZJ.
Sorry if I'm boring, by the way.
No, you're not. You've been great. No, honestly, I promise.
All right. If you say so.
Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah.
But what is next question here, LA?
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Hans. Here we're gonna start like getting fucking real weird. Okay.
All right.
Okay. If you combined your favorite food and your least favorite food, what would it be, and when would you eat it?
The thing is, like, I have a lot of things that I like, and there's one thing I don't like, and people around me love it. Denise, my mom, my dad, they all love mushrooms. Denise's parents love mushrooms. I don't. I had a really bad experience with my mom, who put us on a Weight Watchers diet, and I had to be a part of it too. Come on, man, I was skinnier than all of you. What the heck?
Oh man,
I was underweight, bro. What do you do? Why am I on this diet? Anyways, it was a whole wheat, a whole grain like tortilla with brown rice, veggie burger, and really oily mushrooms. And that was my first experience with mushrooms, and I get taken back to it every single time I eat it, like any kind of mushroom. And so I'm like, I hate this. I hate all of it. So, I guess a burrito or carne asada fries is probably one of my favorite foods to eat, or pizza. Those are like very non-Filipino but very American foods.
But would you eat it if it had mushrooms on it?
I gotta. I guess.
I know we're not paying you, and no, this is not giving you health benefits. Like,
on pizza, it's not so bad. If it's like the main thing of a dish, like if it's like a pasta, I'm having a rough time. It is a rough time.
I see.
Yeah.
So
I
if
can't.
it's on pizza, you're not like over there like picking it out with the tweezers.
I'll eat it. I feel bad for like wasting food, and I'll still eat mushrooms too. I just won't do it like with enthusiasm, because when I eat, I'm like, yeah, this is my favorite. Man, I love this. This is my favorite. And then, like, if I eat mushrooms, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like wincing or like dry gagging.
Is
Yeah.
it like the texture or is it the flavor? Like what about mushrooms is the thing that throws you off?
I think it's the flavor. Because I like things with that texture. It's the flavor. It just tastes like I don't know, like dark and oily. I don't like it.
Dark and oily.
I think it might just be the way that it gets cooked sometimes, because I've had a few instances where I was like, oh, this is not so bad, but I didn't say it out loud because I didn't want people to be like, oh, he can eat them now. And I don't let people know. I'm like, oh, nah, not into it. But I was like, keep eating it.
Can't give people
I
the
don't
green
know.
light.
No, yeah, I can't. There's no way.
This is gonna be like slightly off because like I it caught my eye and now I'm curious. What does the sign stand for in the back of your scene right now?
Oh,
Well, before anyone
I-
listening, for anyone listening to this, it says the seminar NCOGFRFR. So please.
oh, here's the thing. I love it. It means no cap, on God, for real. For real.
Okay.
And throughout my entire life, I have catchphrases. It'll be something about rocks. I used to scream the word longanisa really loud in public. I had a manager that would say, "Hey guys, what's happening?" And I said that a bunch too. And now a bunch of my coworkers from different areas that have never met the guy say it. I have couples that say jokes to me that are like years old. I don't remember I made them. But I have this thing where I have like catchphrases, and it just goes across, and I'll forget. I'm like, oh, that was funny once. And then I think I said it in BDG stream. I was like, no cap, on God, for real. For real. And I was like, wait, what if I just shortened it into like an acronym? And I just kept using it, and it stuck. And then whatever brain rot I give to BD, like he like eats it, and then like it becomes him. And he loves that stuff, and I love him to death for it. But I'm like, for me, I'm like, jeez, it wasn't that funny. Like the rocks thing, I thought it was a good bit on the spot. I was like, man, people love this rocks thing, and the moist thing too. I forgot I like being wet. I was like, wait, people like this? Oh, that's crazy. I didn't think it was that funny.
I mean, this goes back to what you were mentioning earlier. Is like you say things, and like everyone thinks it's funny, but you said that like sometimes you're just like, I was just trying to be serious. Like,
Oh yeah, I was just talking.
Can you explain that like that kind of phenomenon with you? Like, I mean, you kind of went into it, but like I want to know like where it becomes like frustrating for you, or is it still like hilarious for you all like most of the time?
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious a lot of the time. I guess this is something I've like picked on recently. I'm not going to diagnose myself, but I feel as though I have a level of dyslexia where when I read things or when I do things like wrong or misinterpret like something, it like I'll read a line over and over, and it like I swear the H was there, or I swear there was a T right there, but I kept saying it with a C or something like that. And Denise and I have talked about it, and she's like, you know, you could just like practice it or reread stuff, and or take a minute before you say something aloud. And I'm like, I'm not good at that. That's why the stuff I say is so funny, because I don't really think when I say it. And the reason why I can get kind of frustrated with it is if it was a simple mistake but people find it hilarious, it's at my expense, where I'm like, I really, really try to do that right, because I have that thought in the back of my head that I might have like a learning thing or a reading thing or something like that.
Oh wow.
And so it gets to me in that way where I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm not very bright. I say it a lot. There's like a little meaning behind it, and it's it's usually because like I'm bright in spontaneous ways where I'm not afraid to say what's on my mind. But part of it is I don't have the the filter to reread or this is just a bad thing. When I was in high school, I would write the really long essays they'd tell us to do, like minimum 1,000, 2,000 words and stuff, and then I'd close it. And then I had a teacher say the nicest thing that I've ever heard. Love him to death, but he said, "Hans, this is an AP literature class, and you're one of the best debaters I have. When someone says something and you don't agree with it, you articulate yourself very well. You are the best speaker that I've ever seen be the worst writer." And I was like, oh, I shouldn't tell him I don't proofread my stuff. I don't proofread anything. When it comes to songwriting too, I write by playing and forgetting, which is why Denise has to record me secretly on her phone. Otherwise, she'll be like, "That was fantastic. Like, play it again." I'm like, no, I didn't remember any of it.
Oh, interesting.
So I've taken like the liberty of like when I'm freestyling, I will have a session open. Otherwise, like I'll just forget everything.
No, I think that's great that you're giving yourself that space and allowance for that. Because I mean, like undiagnosed or not, if you know that's something that's difficult for you, then it doesn't matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but you're handling it in a way that is true and authentic to you, which is like super sick to hear.
Yeah.
Really freaking cool.
Yeah, I mean, hey man,
I don't know what it is.
No, that is the reality for a lot of people. Like even for me as working with kids that are like doing stuff like that, like sometimes like if that's why the education system's fucked. But I'm sorry if you had like a bad educational system, upbringing. But that's just life. People people can articulate in ways that are just one way versus the other way.
Yeah.
But,
there you go.
I think it's just bad habits too. I need to be careful. Yeah. I fostered this behavior.
We all have. It's all right. We're gonna go into another hypothetical here because I'm curious what you'll say.
Okay.
You're given a chance to travel entire month with no detriment to the rest of your life. Like everything in your life just pauses.
Oh.
But you have to stay there and live there for a month. Where are you going?
For a month?
Yeah.
I think me and can I bring Denise or is it just me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think me and Denise would go snowboarding in Japan and then just eat their food. From what I've heard about food from other countries, I don't know, but the Philippines, it was really greasy. But like
that's Filipino for you, brother.
That's factual.
Hey man.
But I have a friend that like travels quite a bit, and she said that food just feels a lot cleaner in other places of the world. And Japan, I heard, is really has really healthy food that's really delicious. Like they take really good care of the food. A lot of the kids really enjoy vegetables over there, like eating rice. They actually really enjoy eating healthy foods as a part of their culture, not just because it tastes, or not just because it's good for you, but because it tastes good. And so I would feel good for my health, weight, and me and Denise have talked about like if when we're retired and stuff, try to be mobile so that we could go snowboarding anywhere on a dime,
Yeah. I mean, do you guys go snowboarding a lot in general?
Oh yeah, I think we snowboarded last Thursday, I think. Yeah. We try to go more. It's just that we have to play around, people coming into town because Las Vegas is one of those tourist spots. So friends and family come by and you're like, oh, I got to make time. And at the same time, my work, as I said, can get in the way of snowboarding. In fact, during F1, I accepted a job at 5 p.m. and I was snowboarding from 9 to 2, and then I was rushing. It's an hour to get from my house to the to the mountain, and I was like, "Come on, we gotta get it." I got in, I showered, I changed, and I got there, and I was like, I forgot there was F1 traffic. I was in traffic for like an hour, and when I got there, I was sore because I was snowboarding, and I was like, I'm dumb. never again.
That sounds so sick.
Yeah, it's fun.
A whole month in Japan, Snowboarding. That sounds fucking
Yeah.
lit.
So
Heck yeah.
probably in like northern regions, like like I know there's jobs that where you can go there and be like kind of working on the slopes
Oh,
seasonally. So I mean,
right.
maybe something to consider. Maybe something to actually consider. IRL.
Maybe when I'm old and I'm like, oh, maybe I want a job over there. I'll look, just be like, I have all this work experience. So tired. Please hire me.
No.
Please.
I'm
Order to
fucking
me.
dead. Oh my god. Okay. Well, Hans, we're gonna go into this fun little game now. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So this is gonna be a word association, but instead of word association, it's gonna be song association. So we're gonna say a word, and you're gonna tell us a song that comes to your mind.
And if you could
Okay.
sing part of it, try to.
Oh Lord, this is gonna be embarrassing. Okay, go ahead.
No, it's all good. Your first word is heart.
Half of my heart's got a grip on the situation.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Hey.
All right. Your second word is sugar.
That's my sugar. Yes, please.
Yep.
Nice.
That's the
I
one.
was-
Third word, glass.
oh my goodness.
It's a hard one.
Wow. That's hard. I don't have one for that. Glass. No, I don't have one. I'm sorry.
Okay,
That's
good.
okay.
Pass.
Pass. Down.
Baby, are you down, 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 down?
Next, nobody.
I don't know the song very well, but nobody but you. I don't know that song. I just know the line. Oh, you know what? I'll go back to glass.
Yeah.
She was making passes at me. She was looking through glasses at me. I looked at you and I said,
Yeah.
I just made that. I just made it up because I couldn't come up with anything.
It's okay. Ella's got one more word for you.
All right. Rock.
I wanna rock and roll all night and party every day.
I feel like rock can go a multitude of ways, so that was a good one. That was a good one. All right, thanks for indulging us in that little word association.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
I do have a very serious question. Very, very serious.
Very serious.
I don't,
Very
I hope
serious.
it doesn't get you in trouble.
Very serious.
Okay.
Like real serious.
Okay.
Which is your least favorite of Denise's plushies?
Oh. My goodness. I'm staring at them all. I know. Dang. I'm trying to find one that's like less themeful or like doesn't have as much of a theme. Jeez, there's so many, and there's some downstairs, and there's some in the room and stuff too. I'll put this out there just cause I'm not like a huge like cinema roll fan. I like the Choco a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. So maybe like cinema roll. I think cinema roll is really plain for some reason. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
Choco's a dog,
Yeah, I had this conversation with somebody the other day.
Yeah.
Like, where's the love for everybody else?
I know. I don't know. I think it's just because of Iron Mouse. She really likes cinema roll, and so it's like, oh, everyone loves this one now. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Sanrio character? Is it Pachaco?
Pachaco.
Is it Pachaco?
Yeah. What about the chicken shark? What chicken shark? She's gonna barge in here and be like, this chicken shark.
She's gonna throw it at you.
You know what? To be honest, we have some like not very proportionate Pokemon too, where it's like, oh, like it looks kind of weird. like some of the Pokemon
Well,
are like,
hey man.
he's like
Hans is going
Typhlosion.
for-
He's like kind of like a chubby Typhlosion. And then here's like look at Charizard here, man. Like he's like, I don't know. It's wild. Like look at him.
Dude, he got some plastic surgery on his cheeks, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. I moved stuff. Oh, oh no! You know what? This Growlithe don't really look like a Growlithe. Like, really? Maybe it's this one. I'm sorry.
Maybe it's the Growlithe.
It's the eyes.
It's the eyes.
It's the eyes.
Don't laugh.
Hey, we love a derpy plushie. you know
Yeah,
what
we
I'm
do.
saying?
Most of our Dittos are kind of derpy too. You know what? That Larvitar one right there is kind of derpy too.
Yeah, we love
I'll lock
derpy.
It's
derpy
probably this one.
plushies.
Hey, I'll lock in this one. It's gotta be this one. It's wild. It looks kind of it's fine. He can be mad at me. It's fine.
It's a child.
Yo, that picture's out of context, dog. I opened one of those things and then I was like, oh shoot, why did I open one of these? Oh, I gotta finish both of them. I really want to drink alcohol, so I'll just drink them both.
It was phenomenal. I remember sitting like across the way from you. And I like was just taking pictures of the group in general. I like zoomed in. I was like, "What the hell are you doing,
Dude? That hangout, I was really in my element, but it was really embarrassing too, especially that video that we took. The one where you were having people like one at a time come into the back, and I was like, dude, they're gonna call me in there. It'll be so cool because they're pulling everybody. And then you guys pulled me in there. I was so like happy to be a part of something because it was gonna be a video. I was like, all right, I'm excited. And Denise was asleep during this time, and then man, I was hurt.
Oh no!
I was like,
the money.
that was the give me the money. I was like, oh man, that hurt.
Oh no!
I was like, man, that's cruel. I looked at everyone in the eyes. Everyone was trying so hard. I was like, you guys are dead. You're all dead.
You're all cringe.
You're all cringe. Oh man,
It was a good time. It was a good time.
it was a good time. I had a really good time.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
We love you. We love you guys. I love you guys too. Nadine. Thanks. It was fun. Thanks for having me be a part of it. It was cool. Sometimes I feel I'm really self-conscious about because I know how off the wall I can be.
Uh-huh.
And I know like our brand is somewhat like, you know, appropriate and so I tend to like only really contribute if someone asks me to,
Uh-huh.
because I don't know. I'm super self-conscious, even though I don't look like it. If I don't look like it, that means I'm comfortable with you. And you're not going to like put what I said on like Instagram and then call me like the worst things.
Oh no!
Because I could be canceled for a lot of the things that I do in general. But I'm really conscious of it too, where I'm like, oh, that person's not my friend. I'm probably going to be really quiet for the whole thing.
No,
Yeah, I mean, I think that that awareness is what is like what makes you so powerful, you know. Like it's one thing to be like, dog, I'm chaotic as fuck, but it's also one other thing to be like, dog, I'm chaotic as fuck when it's appropriate.
Yeah. with friends, you know.
Mhm.
I'm sure LA and I have come across many internet folk that are chaotic without awareness, and
Chaos without borders, man.
I
Yeah, you have to be like careful. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think part of it. So the job that I work is in like corporate audio for meetings and stuff. And like, if you say the wrong thing to the CEO, you'll get fired. Like
Oh, yeah.
instantly.
Yeah,
Like
you
I think
can't scream Longanisa off the top of your lungs.
Yeah.
Like-
Well, I've seen some weird stuff where like it'll be as simple as saying no to like somebody, where it's like, hey, can you help me with this? Like I'm really confused, and then you'll be like, no, that's not my department or my room.
Yeah.
Can you leave? And then that was like the CEO of Google, and then you're just like, yeah, I don't want that guy here for the rest of the the
ever
event.
for the rest of forever.
Yeah, and then you get like a letter that's like, hey, you can't come back here. And then you're like,
Yeah.
oh man, it's because I said no.
Man.
So
Sir-
you don't struggle in settings like that, huh?
It depends what you mean. What do you mean by struggle?
I mean like it seems like there's a awareness of a challenge, you know, like where like you know when to be professional, but it sounds like you don't necessarily like struggle or have a hard time with like the professionalism, right?
Oh yeah, I'm really confident with like with specifically communication and relationship building. Like if I'm on a new property and I've with technicians I've never worked with before, I can get them to like me 90% of the time. If it's an old
Nice.
man, you listen to everything he says, he'll love you because you listened and didn't call him like, you know, racist or whatever it is that comes out of his mouth. If you listen, an old man will love you. If it's a girl, you have to find what makes them laugh. If they're reserved, then you let them talk and then make a joke about it that's tasteful, and then keep dipping further and further and further. And I guess with like CEOs and stuff, you want to let them speak if they will. Like I like letting people speak first so that I can understand the pacing of their words, how fast they like to talk, because I have to try to match it. Or if I need to be funny, I need to, you know, be eccentric at the same time. Like I'm really situationally aware, but as I said, I'm also not very good with like rereading, or like if someone says a very powerful detail and I forget, I feel really bad. I'm like, oh man, that guy's name is Terry, not Jerry. Oh my god.
Is that something you studied, or is it something like something you read in a book, or is it something you just kind of like felt out over the years?
I think it was feeling out.
Yeah.
I just you have I felt like in my early years, like I'm not old, I swear. In my early 20s, I was, oh man, I'm in my mid 20s. I don't know why I'm saying early. When I was 20, I worked. I came out of college and I'm like, I know all this audio stuff. Like, get me on the board. And then when I went out into the real world, I was like, man, I'm terrified. What am I doing? I could destroy this whole show. And that humbled me to a point where a lot of the times I just listened because I was so scared of like being the one in charge of the entire show. And so that allowed me to eventually get into getting to listen to people and understanding the way that they talk, and kind of I feel manipulative with it sometimes because I know I'm really good at like predicting how like situations will go. Denise hates this when we watch movies. I will tell her the entire plot of the movie, never seeing the movie, like 10 minutes in. I'll be like, okay, that person's gonna die, that person's gonna get cheated on, and that person's not real. That's a dream. This is all a dream. Denise. And she'll be like, what? and I'll be like, just watch. And then as she'll watch, she'll be like this. It's exactly what it is. And she's like, you ruined the movie. And I was like, it's like pattern recognition, stuff like that. Now that's why I really like strategy games like TFT. Like I like pattern recognition a lot.
I see.
Yeah.
Having that learned pattern recognition that was very important in the workplace. Like it's just it's not like you're handling documents, you know. So
oh yeah, no, dude. That's one thing too. I wanted to maybe like shift my way into like audiovisual sales at some point, and but that's a nightmare for me. I'm like, dude, if I write like the wrongest email that's ever been wronged, I'm so fired. I'm so fired.
Nah. That's why we got ChatGPT. That's why
Yeah,
that shit will write itself for you. You don't even fucking gotta
It's
do
true.
it. Like real shit. Ain't no big company not using it. Like that, you can just have someone write it for you. Which is like the great part about living in this day and age. You know, if you recognize that's a weakness for you, you can literally utilize that for yourself.
True.
Yeah, I get Denise to like spot check a lot of stuff. That's also something that I try not to lean so heavily on, or I'm like, I can't finish this song without Denise. I can't write something completely without Denise. I can't, when I'm like, hey, can you look at this? It's something that I'm trying to be like, I can cook this meal without help. Or like I had this bad thing that I did once where like I was cutting something and I had the knife upwards and it was on my thumb and I was like, oh, I'm bleeding.
No.
Or I've done that and like I have a bad thing where if I'm really locked into games or studying or something, I won't eat for like a day or two. And then if I cut my hand like that and I'm bleeding and I'm watching the blood flow out, I will pass out. And then
Really?
Denise will catch me and be like, are you scared of blood?
Yeah, man.
I think it's happened twice. So that time it did happen and my family was like, oh my gosh, she passed out. What is wrong? I'm like, oh, I didn't eat. And then the second time that it happened was at school. I passed out in class because there was a really stressful test coming up. And then they brought me to the nurse and they're like, oh, you know what? I've seen this before. Come here. And she took out like a candy bar. She was like, eat it. And it was like, see that? He was just hungry. Really sweet. Dude, doctors and stuff are so silly with me and I'm not trying to provoke them. When I got my appendix removed, dude, guy was like, you want to see how big your appendix is, dog? I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, I know we're pumping you full of stuff and you can't feel anything, but you can feel where it hurts, right? I'm like, yeah, around here. Look how big it is. And he was like showing it on the screen. He's like, dude, it should have popped. It should have popped. It should have exploded. If it exploded, dude, you'd be stuck in here for like a week and a half. But because you came to me on time, we can get on it immediately. Guess what? My 2:00 just canceled. You know what that means? You ever had surgery before? Oh, too bad. You're gonna be in it in 15 minutes. You're gonna be in there in 15 minutes, buddy. And so I'm getting all ready, and all these people are coming up to me like, "Hi, I am your anesthesiologist. When you see me, you won't see me." And I was like, oh, okay. And then it was like, "Hi, I'm your nurse. I put you on the bed, and then I leave." And I was like, what? Why are they all so funny? It's like they do this for a living or something. And apparently when the surgeon was done, he walked out and he did this. It was like 15 minutes and he was like, that was easy. And your son's good. He should be just fine. I'm going to go to my 2:30.
Freaking Scrubs, right? Scrubs live, pretty much.
Dude, this is actually a sitcom, bro. They're actually the sitcom is based off of them.
Dude, it's like Grey's Anatomy, but a comedy.
That's crazy. Oh man.
Oh man. Oh, we only got a few more questions left for you.
Okay.
We're gonna hit you with another kind of a hypothetical.
Okay.
If you imagine you've lost or had to get rid of your current guitar, what are you replacing it with? What guitar? It could be a completely different instrument, or is there something that you've like wanted to get for a while but like haven't because you're just like, I still have my guitar.
So I have another.
Okay.
I have another guitar in the back, but it had a string broken on it, and I'm like really lazy and I haven't touched it. It's a really limited edition guitar too. I like the Taylor more, I like the feel of it. So I guess I would default to that. On that same note, when it comes to like technology, I'm really, really bad with understanding why something is good. Like I'm using something called a Behringer for audio right now. And a lot of people would say that's like really low end. When it comes to like plugins for like mixing and mastering, I like to use what's built in.
Uh-huh.
I don't buy stuff unless it's like something with a unique purpose, like auto tune or Melodyne, stuff that messes with pitch or specific instruments. I'm not good with that stuff. I kind of just use what's given to me because I haven't had the luxury of a ton of money. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, makes sense. I mean,
So-
like, people are selling a lot of sizzle anyway. So I mean, like that is a very valid point.
Yeah.
Okay. DJ, why don't you take the next one?
Sure. So, all right, Hans. We had talks before about creative vision and stuff like that, but we want to know like what is kind of like the next year look like, the next month, the next 5 years, like however far you want to go. Like what is something on like the list that like you want to do, like for yourself, for your music, for whatever.
When it comes to music, I've had a tug of war with it for a long time. It's caused like certain relationships, like just with Denise, my father, to be strained because I wasn't very clear on what I wanted over the years, and that's something that I've worked on. I think I'm at the point in my in like my musical path or journey where I'm doing exactly what it is I want to do, where I'm working a full-time job, but I'm able to write and record at my leisure. It's right here. There's nothing stopping me from entering the room except for like myself being motivated to go in. And when it comes to like benchmarks or something, it would be cool if I could make like a song that could give us like a following of like a listenership on, on Spotify it says this many listeners.
Yeah.
If there's like 1,000 people that really liked it and was like die hard and asked us like when the next song was, that'd be cool. But if it never happens, one thing that I've been telling myself when I feel kind of down is like, hey, you haven't written 100 songs yet. And if you haven't put out 100 songs yet. You've only had like 10 swings at the ball. Swing again. And I was just like, I try to capture what I'm feeling in the moment every time too, because if I write a song and it's like a year later, I don't feel the same way. And when I sing it, it won't feel the same. So I try to write now, like the way that I write now is I open Pro Tools, which is my recording software, and I will sit there and just keep banging at it until I finish the song, instead of like, hey, I'll add this and I'll come back to it in 2 months and then add this, just because the song morphs in a way that I don't want it to.
For sure. No, your creative process, like literally, I can relate. My creative process is literally the same as yours. Like if we don't act upon the thing in like a month's time, it's either A, never gonna happen, or B, we're gonna start it and it's just also just not gonna get finished.
Yeah.
And like that whole philosophy behind for you and us, the philosophy of like acting upon creativity in the moment, I think that's like so sick. And also I think what's sick that you said was like there is like this appreciation that you're working like this full-time job and doing your creativity at your leisure, and I don't think that like is normalized enough, like because as a fellow creative person, like there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, music, art, full-time, that's the dream, and da 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 da. But there's like this normacy of like, dude, like that's like the 2% of people that's gonna like do that. But also it's okay if you're working your job and doing your thing, like that's part of your creative process, if anything.
Yeah, I feel like that's like having that also is freeing for your creative process too, like because you're not stressed about making the money through your creative art, that you can focus on making art for the sake of making art.
It also allows me like a place to pull subjects from. So like if you're talking about like how hard life feels, well, if you're in a room like writing music all day, it's kind of hard to relate to that. But if you're working with people that are on their hands and knees also like kind of dying with you, you feel like this level of camaraderie where you can write genuinely, that you feel like your day is day in day out the same routine. And when it comes to genuine emotion of like being excited about something, or I really like to pull from the negative emotions. Like if work is pulling me down, I can write that. But if I was just at home and it's pulling me down, I have this level of, oh, I'm blessed, I get to work from home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that way of thinking, because I mean, even for myself, like I'm working through that period too of like I just got like a job that's like I work like 30 something hours a week, but now I'm also doing that on top of my art stuff, and like you recognizing that mindset like helps me, like, you know, and probably a bunch of other people that are in the same, you know, like being a starting art, like starving is a choice as a starving artist. You know, like starving is a choice. It's not. It's like you literally don't have to starve, and that's just the life we're living. Is we're not gonna starve. We're artists that are hungry and eating, hungry and eating, bro. Like
I think the purpose of art for me is like you want it to be like as genuine to what you saw in your head as possible, and you want people to be able to appreciate it. And if a lot of people can appreciate it, then that's really cool. And so that's why if you're putting stuff out and people aren't latching onto it, or you aren't getting a following, there's like a fun to that where it's like, I think Ed Sheeran said something about it where it's like, oh, on your first album, you can do whatever you want because your first album isn't your first album until it becomes a hit. That becomes your first album. And then there's pressure for your second album to be as good.
right.
So you're like, oh, shoot.
Huh.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
That you know, I'm gonna just throw it because like when I wrote this question, I wrote it as call for the fence, and when you said I've only swung at it like 100 times, I was like, that's exactly what I was going for.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're reaching the end of our interview, so I do have one last question for you. Well, not really a question. I just want to know your last parting wisdom. Give us a parting wisdom to end the night with.
Okay. I think in your life you're gonna have a lot of pieces of you that that feel like you don't want to remember it. I have a lot of those where I was really cringy, or I regret things ever happening, or like like if you hit a car, or if you get hit by a car, or if you were late for something, if you got scolded for something. But you have to look at it and see if you're still in one piece, if you're still alive. That's a good thing. And that means that piece of your life was supposed to mold you in some way, somehow. And I believe that we're on this planet to experience it the way that only we can experience it in this time, through this version of a person. And whatever it is that happens at the end, we join that. All of our experiences join that. I don't know how religious you are, but that gives me a peace of mind that whatever I do in my life matters because no one else experienced it that way. And if it goes into a bank and a collection of things that were ever felt, that's how I'd be cool with that. So live your life as best as you can live it without dying.
Love that.
You don't get an isekai, bro. You gotta.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't get a second chance. Live to the fullest if you can.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, that was a perfect way to end off today's episode of the Seminar Office Hours. Thank you again, Hans, for being here and being so candid. ZJA, thank you so much for being here as well and asking a lot of great follow-up questions. We will get back to you on when the next episode of the seminar will be, but make sure you are following ZJA University on all the social media and soon to be Blue Sky, I hope. Cool. But yeah, thank you again, Hans. And thank you
of course,
again,
thanks for having me.
Yeah. Till next time, see you all out there. Good night. Stay easy. Have a great rest of the month, and we'll see you next time here on the seminar.
Stay alive.
Stay alive. Bye.